Good morning once again. You are watching Sunrise at Sea, and if you just joined us, you are right in time for our views this morning. I am joined by my colleagues, the usual ladies and suspects this morning, and the topic of discussion this morning is, do kids that are 5 years and below, that are going to kindergarten specifically, school-going kids, is it necessary for them to take computer classes? Yes, kids are heading back to school today, and that is the topic of discussion this morning. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning, Sandra.
Well, so what do you think? Let's dive right into it. Do you think kids from 3 to 5 going to kinder to nursery, do you think they need computer classes?
No, I don't. I don't think they do. However, yes, computer studies are very, very important, and given should I say the generation or how things are nowadays, everything requires technology. Yeah. But I would say exposing a kid to a computer would be at the age of 5 and above, not 5 and below. Yeah, because honestly, what is a kid going to do besides playing games and playing with random things? Yeah. So I don't think it's actually necessary for kids below the age of 5 or kindergarten going to actually own computers, because I feel like at the end of the day, it's actually going to have a mental. It's going to take away from them. Yes, you know, when you realize that kids were actually exposed so much to all these gadgets, yeah, social media or whatsoever, they tend to be drawn into that, yeah, and you realize they don't associate themselves with, you know, with so many other kids, and those are the kids you realize that every time kids are playing, they're just on the phone, and before you know it, they're losing themselves, you know, over all this technology. So I think kids below the age of kids in kindergarten shouldn't be exposed to computers. I don't think it's a good thing.
What's your take, Shivan? Do you think it can be used as a learning tool to
for me, I think
computers?
It can be used definitely as a learning tool. And well, I may not be talking about like the computers that you and I would use, but I'll probably be talking about the toy computers, the computers where a computer will speak and say, click A, and she clicks. Click B, and she clicks. And what is this color? And she mentions. Those are the sort of computers I'm talking about when it comes to this regard, not the actual computers that you and I use when we're at work. I think it's something that we can do. You could probably say over the weekend on a Saturday for 1 hour, your child is learning something on a computer, because hey, guess what? We are in a digital era. We are going, especially when it comes to technology, it's skyrocketing through the roof. So you want your child knowing all these things at even a tender age. Let them learn to appreciate. But again, it is very important that you also regulate it. But I have no problem with it as long as it's not the type of computers that I would use at work. It's just these normal like computers that have kids, that have kids things, and you know, they have kids songs, and they have all these things that are actually going to keep them engaged. So that way, they're actually being exposed to a computer in one or the other.
What do you think, Sarah? Do you think computers can be used as a learning tool for kinder kids? Do you think it's necessary at their age?
Definitely. Technology in general is definitely a learning tool, can be used as a learning tool for children in kindergarten, because when they're not watching, using their computers for learning, they're watching cartoons. And cartoons are technology. They are another, you know, aspect or component of computers or technology. So we cannot remove them from the equation. This is where the world is today. This is how, with the pandemic, this is how children have been studying. So to say that it's too early to expose them to computers or technology, I think is a bit rather backward.
Yeah.
Because they need to learn as soon as possible.
True.
Because that is where the world is. What if we get into another lockdown? How are they going to study? How do they keep entertained? They watch cartoons. So you can also moderate it. Perhaps the only downside to it is that when you give a child, say, a tablet to study, you know, a little child, their attention span could, you know, wear out like really fast, and then they get distracted and start doing other things as opposed to learning. So perhaps you could just regulate and also supervise, but it's definitely necessary.
But like what you have said, the attention span is quite, especially for those young kids. Do you think computers stifle their ability to experiment and explore?
Absolutely not. No. Matter of fact, computers enhance their creativity.
Yes.
Yeah. But don't you feel if they are on the computer for a long time, they miss out on other skills such as making friends, interacting, expressing regulating themselves.
That
They
is
can
where the
express-
aspect of actually regulating comes
time,
in.
yeah.
I'll
Yes.
give you, for example, there was an article that I was reading of a little child, and that was in the New York Times still. And this child at the age of 10 could actually code. But how did he start it? At the age of about 2, randomly pressing keys, and then the parents realized he actually has a passion for technology. He understood. He might not really put a finger to it and say what I'm doing is computer coding, but he was doing it. So I think in a way it is very important, and I don't think it stifles a child's mind. It actually enhances them to think more. However, it goes back to the aspect of regulating and say my child will not be on a computer for not more than an hour.
So what
that
can
after
they
an
do?
hour-
What exactly can they do on a computer at school in a learning environment?
They learn what they're supposed to learn. This, you see, this is a thing with
Like
children.
tutorials?
This is a thing with children. They gravitate to things that they like. So you're not really stifling a child's growth by giving them a computer or a laptop. If this child is the type that likes to be outdoors, you will see it, and they'll gravitate towards being outdoors. So I do not think we should
Rule it out.
rule it out and say, oh, computers are bad or dangerous or whatnot, because children will gravitate to things that they're interested in. And even with the programs or videos that they watch on in their free time, you will see that your child is gravitating towards a particular interest. And as a parent or as a teacher, when you realize this, then perhaps focus in that area and and encourage the child's creativity and encourage them to, flow in that direction. Not all children are going to be programmers. Some are going to be vets. You understand? Some are going to be archaeologists. Some are going to be something else. So computers just help enhance children, and it brings the world to them, since they cannot go there. So it is absolutely necessary.
I guess people have mixed feelings about children of that age using computers, but let's see what the experts think. Yes, said Laurie Sandborn, technology specialist in Livermore, California. K3, that is kindergarten 3 students, should be using computers. A computer is a tool just as a ruler, calculator, or pencil is, and students need to learn to use today's tools, and that's what Sarah highlighted on. Time and money are precious commodities in education, and computers and software are costly if used correctly, keyword being correctly. However, they can support and empower students, provide excitement in learning, enhance the desire to discover, and open the minds of our students to all kinds of possibilities. But looking on the flip side of that coin, many researchers do not recommend that children under 3 years old use computers. Computers simply do not match their learning style, so they say. Children younger than 3 learn through their bodies, their eyes, ears, mouths, hands, and legs. Although they may return over and over again to an activity, they are full of movement, a changing focus frequently. Computers are not a good choice for the developmental skills of these children are learning to master, that is crawling, walking, talking, and making friends. But I would like to use another angle, like, you know how they make you pay for things, how school can make you pay for things, and then you never use them? I remember we had that in our school, computer classes actually. So do you think this is a gimmick for some schools to hike the fees in disguise for children learning computer?
It's only a gimmick if the parents are not following up, because a lot of parents take their children to school and then don't follow up. Are you actually doing computer classes? What are you doing in your computer classes? Are you following through? Is there a plan? That is why some people may think it's a gimmick, because we don't follow up. You pay and the child has gone to school, and that is it.
Yeah.
If parents are holding the school administration and the teachers accountable for how they spend the tuition or school fees that the parents pay, then definitely the children will be getting the education that we send them to school to actually get.
Yeah.
So you think you're all for computers, children using computers at school?
It is absolutely
It
necessary.
is necessary. It's something that, I mean, as a community, we need to adapt into. It's a good initiative. First of all, it not only opens up the brains of the children, but it exposes them to technology at an early age for them to be able to thrive, even when they get into different sectors of the community,
life,
of life.
I think regulated and children can really learn from them. I actually love this new thing with Amazon that they have the tabs for kids.
Yes.
So all like the content inside there is for children. They get to choose if they want to watch cartoons or if they want the counting and reading as well, so they can have that and they can really train at school and away from school.
Yeah.
For some schools, this has become mandatory for kids to carry so that they have their tab, and it makes learning very, very smooth for the children.
Yeah, but also if you decide to, for example, give your child a tab or a phone, you can actually choose to regulate it. You could probably put in a passcode. The other day I was amazed by an app that is being developed by actually young innovators here in Uganda. It has not yet been fully approved, but the app actually is an app that you install in your phone and it puts time out. So as a parent, you can say from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. the phone is able to be accessed. After that, it's completely off. No one can switch it on apart from the parent who has the passcode. But also you can decide to install apps such as YouTube Kids so that your child is using the YouTube app that is for kids and not for adults.
Yeah.
Or you may decide to even put parental guidance on some things that you may not want them to engage in. So there are so many options around it and so many ways of making sure that your child is using these gadgets or these different platforms for the right way and for within the right time.
Well, you had it from me and the ladies here on Sunrise at Sea. Our views one and the topic of discussion is, do you think kindergarten going kids should use computers? Some are yes for this and some are no for this. But we would like to know what you think. Please head on to our social media pages at CTV Uganda, and please do not forget to use the hashtag CTV Sunrise. Well, we'll see you in a bit because next on is Sarah with yet another interesting conversation. Don't blink.